Hi guys, time for another pick a card reading. The topic for this one is going to be, what would the person on your mind tell you if they could say anything right now? There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the clear calcite. Group 2 is the green calcite. And group 3 is the yellow calcite. Up next is a photo of these crystals. There are timestamps in the description box of the video, and I'll see everyone in just a minute for group 1. Hi group 1. You chose the clear calcite. So let's see, what would the person on your mind tell you right now if they could say anything? Okay, we've got the Hierophant, the Ace of Wands, the Tower, Two of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Magician. So it feels like this person wants it all with you. They want the house, the little picket fence, the 2.5 kids, the dog, whatever that version of happily ever after looks like for you personally and your situation. This is somebody that when they envision that happy home life, that sense of personal kind of like security within a romantic connection, within a familial kind of like thing that they build with another person, you are that other half of that equation. This is somebody, though, that if that more traditional, approach to life or, certain kind of like creature comforts doesn't really factor in with what's possible for you, maybe based on, your age, you could both be older, kind of like you're beyond that point of talking about like starting a family in that sense, or it's just not something that vibes with your personal ideas of happily ever after. If you are somebody that idea of a well-lived life is comprised of different things than what most people kind of strive for or are considering kind of like the badges of achievement, milestone events within their life. This person factors you in nevertheless, as far as let's create our own little bit of happiness here and now. Heaven on earth is possible between the two of us. This is somebody as well that would let you know that they are looking for a way forward in order to kind of like start to make that dream reality like a real lived reality for the two of you. So there may be things that they're having to close out of in their life with the Tower here. This doesn't really kind of feel like something where it's like unexpected towers, but this is somebody that is like consciously burning bridges. They're toppling over things which are obstructions in their life, or they are consciously going in to kind of like wrap up cycles so their time is free, so that their life is less stressful, so that they can reorient themselves and start heading in the direction of things that are more kind of relevant or fulfilling to who they are at this point in time, because they may be living in the midst of like a dream that they had chased at an earlier point in their life that is either kind of run its course, so they've got to bring it to a place of closure and completion, or something that they were like reaching for when they got to that place that's just not turned out to be as satisfying as they thought it would be, or circumstances like in the nature of whatever that involves have changed, and so it's just not really kind of holding their interest anymore. That can have to do with like career, that can have to do with living situation, lifestyle, a combination of those things. This is somebody that is actively like looking to move the pieces in their life around very conscientiously. And they feel in some sort of way that by doing that, creating substantial closures, like endings and beginnings for themselves, not like waiting for, things to collapse, but being the one to do that collapse, that agent of change within their own life. There's something about kind of that next chapter, a horizon that they're looking towards, that in some sort of way they're feeling like they'll be embodying a version of themselves that could realistically offer you the world and deliver upon that. Or it may even be that their material circumstances will change to where there's the ability to kind of make space, make room for this connection. Their sort of material circumstances or even like stress levels could have to do with like things of an emotional nature, and kind of just cultivating more peace inside of themselves so that they have, positive expectations, good vibes, and like a more balanced energy to kind of bring to the table with you, so that distractions don't kind of pull them away, so stressors don't cause them to not kind of prioritize this connection, because they feel it's very important to start to do what they can in order to focus on building towards something more with you. And it coincides with like another chapter in their life that they're trying to kind of work towards, not just sort of waiting for that to happen, not just waiting on the divine timing, but actively working in ways that you may be aware of. This person may have let you know about certain, goals and dreams and how those have changed, or certain things that they're kind of like bringing to a place of completion as far as cycles or experiences are concerned, or new beginnings. You may know about that like on a surface level, but definitely with that Two of Cups, there is this sense of that you are part of that focus, you're part of that inspiration. You are the person that they envision by their side as the future unfolds. And so this is somebody that is working diligently behind the scenes to be able to show up in like this Hierophant is giving like a provider energy, but this isn't somebody that just kind of like takes care of everything and is like, no, just kick back, just put your feet up, chill, I got it all. Although this may be somebody that's very kind of like generous, is able to sort of, provide or even kind of match you in some kind of higher lifestyle than you are used to, but it definitely feels like somebody that it's more of like a provider energy in terms of cultivating peace of mind for themselves, or just a life that they're more happy within, they're more satisfied within, things that operate more smoothly, and therefore being able to provide a better version of themselves. Somebody that, wants to, and maybe is even acknowledged how at times when they're with you, they're very distracted, their mind's on other things, or this may be somebody that has had to kind of like take care of a lot of things, and so they can't prioritize this connection. They don't really have time for building with you in the ways that they want at this point, because they got all this other stuff going on, and then they need that time for like self-care. They need time to just kind of detach and chill and just like be in their own energy. So this is somebody, it feels like that they know a way forward from that. They know a way in order to create alterations to the way in which their life looks like from the surface that will give them maybe more psychic bandwidth, emotional peace, lower stress levels, maybe even something that kind of changes their circumstances materially speaking, so that these aren't just kind of like pipe dreams that they hold inside and they're like, okay, yeah, someday I'd like to have that version of happily ever after for myself and with you, but that this is something where it's like they're kind of doing their part to sort of provide that effort in terms of what they can kind of tighten up on in their own life, or even things they need to let loose of, that idea of like burning bridges, closing cycles, in order to be able to be centered very much within the now, so that opportunities that they may be aware of to have something more with you can actually be grasped and capitalized upon, or so that this is somebody that they step into kind of like a different version of themselves that they, for whatever reason, then feels is the version of them that can like meet you eye to eye in this place where, they're bringing kind of the realistic version of them to the table, but this is also something where they've kind of alleviated certain burdens in order to not kind of slow the progress forward of this connection down. Because again, this is somebody that sees happily ever after with you, not in like a whimsical way, not in an unrealistic way. This is somebody that feels like the two of you have what it takes to really make that happiness a reality in the here and now. And so they don't want to like miss out on that opportunity. Let's get some message cards from their higher self and see what they want you to know. Okay, and they say, I have been feeling your presence around me. Yeah, so when this person's in the midst of kind of like consciously redirecting their thoughts from just kind of like random daydreams, or, you know, their mind kind of like wandering towards ruminations or fears or stress or worry, like when they're consciously trying to like manifest with that magician energy, tap into that flow state, envision that kind of dream life, you know, what they want the big picture and the lived reality of things to look like in the here and now, you know, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, on and on and on. This is something where they are definitely tapping into the reality of what the two of you have with one another at this moment in time, but they're allowing kind of that element of fantasy to be sort of the catalytic force, which it feels like propels them into more of a state of certainty that, yeah, building towards certain goals and dreams for themselves and by themselves in certain ways, that it makes sense, it's more achievable, it's more realistic, because they factor you in as, you know, the person that kind of fills in that requirement of, this is somebody that wants love, they want romance, they want partnership in that kind of like next chapter of their reality, or in this, you know, kind of the aftermath of this experience of kind of changing things around for themselves. You're the person that they envision there with them in that chapter. We also have, I love you. So yeah, this is somebody that it feels like it's an act of devotion at this point in time to make changes for themselves, but for you also to be like a big inspiration, a big motivator. They might have been on the fence about certain things, like, is it the time to make certain changes? You know, they're maybe we're feeling a bit stuck or stagnant within certain experiences and kind of like not sure what direction to choose, or, you know, if they needed to kind of just tough it out and just remain where they are. And then you've come along and you've sparked this inspiration within them that, you know, the future is not guaranteed. It's not set in stone, but if they are moving in the direction of kind of creating a better life for themselves, but also with this idea of being able to like provide you something more, a better version of themselves, or even like different circumstances that they bring to you or that they are welcoming you into. That's something that it feels like this is this act of devotion, which already at this point in time, like acts of service may be part of this person's love language. And so there is kind of this aspect of you that they have at kind of adjacent to the forefront of where their attention is at this particular point in time, in order to sort of look around, strategize, make the right moves in the interest of creating something better for themselves, but also in the interest of love. We also have, you will hear from me soon. So it feels like this person wants to share some good news with you, you know, let you know about certain plans, certain updates, certain developments. This is not somebody that just all of a sudden wants to like pop out with like, hey, I made this huge change, and just so you know. But it's almost like they want you to kind of collaborate with them in a way. And it may even just be in the sense at this point in time of like being that sort of sounding board for them. Like you find out about something, they speak that truth, they deliver that information to you. And that in some sort of way, there may also be conversations where instead of just like they're talking about them, you know, themselves in like the first person, like I and me, they're starting to talk about like us and we. Little indicators that will let you know that you are that factor as they are headed towards a different kind of experience for themselves. It is not one in which you and this, you know, love story, wherever it's at between the two of you at this point, that it will be left behind, but it's something where it's like they take your hand and keep moving forward with you. We also have no one can change my love for you. Yeah, so might be kind of a challenging point in time where they're trying to, create a closure of certain cycles for themselves in order to initiate new beginnings. They may have to like burn bridges with even versions of themselves that had embodied a certain place in terms of the prioritization of love and partnership, given the nature of other things that they had going on. And so it feels like this is someone that's going through like tough cycles of personal change and also external changes as well. But this is somebody that like would want you to know that in the midst of all of that, in the midst of this deep personal transformation and things kind of changing in terms of their worldly circumstances, the love for you is constant. We also have I hold back because I don't want to be rejected. So again, this is somebody that recognizes in some sort of way that their energy is spread very thin. They're very distracted, or they have like things going on that kind of conflict with a sense of centeredness within. Like they might be working a job that pays the bills, but it's like draining their soul. And so they are noticing that in terms of like how they're showing up in the connection with you, or ways in which they are at times like not able to be fully present. They're exhausted, they're distracted, they're moody, like different things that they've taken note of, or maybe that have even been kind of like points of issue between you, that has kind of like jolted them awake, almost like I need to make a change, like I need to make a change for myself. But also this is something which is adversely affecting kind of like positive experiences between the two of you, and as they are imagining kind of what the future would look like. So again, this is somebody that is like making these alterations internally. It's a change of perspective, but it also has to do with like a change in material circumstances. We also I've been thinking about proposing to you. Yeah, so that's that energy of the Hierophant and that Two of Cups. This is somebody that in that vision of happily ever after that they are aggressively working towards, even if that aggressive work is just like, planning, strategizing, kind of like forecasting things, making moves where they can, waiting until they're able to like pounce on opportunities. All of that is something which they're anticipating, and it feels like with very good reason will put them in a position to live a very different kind of life in many ways than they have. And it feels like a lot of those changes will be like more peace of mind within, something different in terms of like the stress level that they're carrying, or like other things that they have had going on that have in some sort of way not brought out the best in them. And this love between the two of you has illuminated that there's a possibility to live a different kind of life. There's a different sort of experience which has come to life inside of them, a different sort of feeling, a range of feelings, a capacity for connection with another person that has definitely motivated them, to follow through on almost a sense of discontent that they had for quite some time in terms of their current circumstances in different ways. And then you've come along and it's kind of like, all right, to take steps forward, in the direction of where I was already planning on heading. This is something that feels like they're more eager and enthusiastic about, because they see that it will put them in the right position financially, emotionally, energetically, in different sorts of ways, to be able to kind of bring a beautiful experience of love to you, rather than inviting you into their personal chaos, like more than has already been the case, or maybe at all. Maybe they've been kind of like quiet about their feelings so far. This is somebody that is like, they're getting ready, in this kind of changing season for themselves to be in a better position, to be able to kind of show up more authentically, or in a more balanced way, or like in a more generous way. And that can mean many different things. Just sort of like take that as it resonates, than has been the case up to this point. So let's get some initials. This could be a first, middle, or last name, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got T, S, Y, G, T, M, V, D, B, G, N, R, Q, and U. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the green calcite. So let's see, what would the person on your mind tell you right now if they could say anything? Okay, we have Strength, Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, the Hierophant, Eight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. So it feels like this person wants to give you a big hug right now and tell you that they are proud of you, that you are one of the bravest, most soulful people that they have ever met. This is somebody that it feels like you share an energetic bond with, a deep empathic bond with. They feel your tears of joy as well as your tears of sorrow. This is somebody that wants you to know that they are here for you unconditionally, even at the times where they may not know what to say, where maybe there's like nothing that they can say. They just need to like hold space for you to, you know, go through kind of tough times. Maybe they've experienced that recently. You might have opened up to this person about certain struggles, certain fears, things in your past or things that you're going through right now, and it feels like it broke this person's heart wide open. It made them want to rush towards you and again just like give you a big hug. This is somebody that it feels like wants to be very gentle with your heart, very mindful of kind of how they treat you. Not that you are delicate, but they sense that there's like a lot of strength inside of you, but it's the type of strength that has been self-forged, like you've built that through a process of struggle, disappointment, you know, maybe in life, maybe in love. This is somebody that definitely does not see a broken person when they see you. They see somebody who is an emblem of strength. They see somebody that ought to be treated with care and tenderness. And this is somebody that it feels like definitely would tell you that they're trying to make efforts to sort of find ways in which they could smooth certain rough edges inside of themselves so that they bring to you a softer experience in love and even in life than your past had been able to give to you. This is somebody that you check off every single box for this person, including some that they didn't even know existed. This is somebody who is like so attracted to you on all levels. Everything about you is very pleasing to this individual. And they would tell you that they are sorry for not doing a better job of like showing that in a way which turns any kind of like sorrow that you may be carrying into like reasons to smile, reasons to laugh, reasons to be joyous. It feels like this person is now sort of looking towards you in this connection, and they would tell you that they're trying to like think of different sorts of ways to kind of redirect your focus beyond struggles or certain burdens that you're carrying, so that the time that you spend with one another is a source point of joy, a source point of strength. This is somebody that doesn't want to add to stresses. This is somebody that does not want to bring chaos into your life. This is somebody that wants to celebrate you. This is somebody that would want you to know, like anybody who didn't see your worth and value before, they must have just been a complete idiot, because the writing's on the wall. Like, it's so obvious to this person. And whatever you've kind of like opened up about, shared with them recently, or they were kind of just like there to witness something unfold, it's caused them to, again, kind of like it broke their heart wide open. And there's like this deeper level of love and affection and admiration that they have for you than had been the case before, because it's almost like now they've seen this kind of like inner sanctum within, where that light dwells amidst all the shadows that you carry so beautifully. You wear your wounds like the finest diamonds. You shine despite anything it is that you've been through. And this is somebody that would tell you, like, they see that. They see who you are. They see kind of the task at hand at this point. It's almost like this person has had some kind of aha moment or epiphany, ways in which there is now like a focus to concentrate on finding different ways to love you in such a capacity that any kind of like cracks in your soul, wounds that you still carry within, pieces of like a shattered heart that you've put back together beautifully and brilliantly, that this is somebody that wants to like pour their energy or their presence into that, so that you stop looking at yourself and kind of questioning your worthiness, and you start looking at yourself and seeing the perfection that this person sees, both outside and in. This is somebody with this energy of the Hierophant here. It feels like they have a lot of like, they see you as sacred, almost like a sacred being, like an earth angel. And it's not because you've, got this kind of like holier than thou energy. There's something about you where it's obvious that this light wasn't just handed to you. Yeah, it might have been something that you were born with, but it's almost like life circumstances tried to dim your shine or diminish that or take it away from you completely. Maybe on more than one occasion. And this person recognizes that time, or the ways in which you've kind of chosen to sort of move beyond things, accept the things that you are unchanging. You've adapted, you continue to persevere, and with an openness of heart, optimism towards love. This is something that this person has a lot of respect for you as a person, and they're like deeply drawn to you, not just pleasing to the eye, but like drawn to you on a very soulful level. This is somebody, it feels like, that also would want you to know that you never need to, you shouldn't feel like you have to hide anything from them. Like, this is somebody that does not judge you in a negative light. This is somebody that judges you very positively. This is somebody that it's like they've never met anyone like you, and it's the way in which you carry this like beautiful light, this energy of like a light that survived every attempt that the world made to diminish that, to erase that. And this person sees it, they've witnessed it, but they also see that that light is only as brilliant as it is because of the backdrop of some kind of like profound or deep darkness, like a very dark chapter. Maybe you're just a very like emotional person, so like heartbreak echoes across time for you. When you love with your whole heart. So when you're heartbroken, that process of being shattered, it's like you have to build it back up almost from dust. And this is somebody that like sees that. They see the kind of remains of that. They feel within your boundaries, within the way in which you love, and even the ways in which you love yourself. They see the echo of people from the past that were very careless with you, careless with your heart, took you for granted, or maybe did very hurtful things that required you to like take space to sort of lick your own wounds, to rise once more. That's evident to this person, but it's only evident because they're able to like peer behind this light that you shine, that's just part of you. It's this like sacred part of you, and it's only present because of that contrast within. This person may have kind of a similar sort of stance inside of them, like a light that shines very brightly, because they carry around like a profound darkness that they've sort of worked to kind of like stand upon, rather than sort of spread that around to other people. So they see a very similar experience within you. This is somebody with this Six of Pentacles here. This is like attracts like energy. This is somebody that, even though there may be sort of material differences between the two of you, energetically, emotionally, at a soul level, it feels right. So this is somebody, it feels like that they would tell you they want to very consciously kind of take time at this stage to learn through like an intuitive knowing, or this kind of energetic connection that you share. What are certain like wounds or areas of yourself that you've kind of like, you've repaired it as best as you could, you've kind of learned to accept things as best as you could, that require a gentle, loving presence to pour light in, to kiss those wounds, to validate those parts of you as just as beautiful as the unblemished aspects, or the parts that you've retrofitted. You've risen from the ashes, and this person celebrates that. But this is somebody that it feels like it wants to be very patient until certain vulnerabilities kind of come to the surface from within you. And that's part of this, like, they just want to embrace you. They just want to hug you. They just want to sit in the stillness and kind of like feel your heartbeat next to theirs. This is somebody that is like, at this point in time, they're starting to feel like they think they've met their match, but in like a good way, like a healthy way. Like it feels right. The idea of steps forward towards you, towards embracing this love more fully, that feels right to this person. It feels like you are that space that complements every perfection and imperfection within them so beautifully, that this is somebody that really feels like there's a beautiful symphony of love that could take place between the two of you, amidst the ways in which each of you is like making music out of your own life. This is somebody that would tell you as well that your presence, even on the days when you don't feel like you're able to give 100%, or you're kind of quiet or distant, that your presence matters to them incredibly. They search for your light. They search for your energy. They search for you in crowded rooms, as they're moving through crowds, as they're, just kind of like out and about in their day. They look for you. They hope to encounter you. When they see you, when they have direct experiences with you, they light up inside, and that light, the afterglow of that, carries with them throughout their day. You're the highlight of their day. Hearing from you, even times where you may go like a couple of days in between seeing each other, talking to each other, that there's a sense of even that energy of anticipation, the buildup, the wait. It is increasingly becoming something where those moments then where you're able to have experiences with you, it's like a sense of coming home, but home in a very positive, healthy, high vibrational way that could be very different from what this person has experienced with other partnerships, or even in like their upbringing growing up. It's kind of like the feeling with you, there's a coziness, there's a warmth, there's a sense of stability, even if you're still in the midst of kind of building a deeper understanding with one another, or a more kind of like solid relationship. This is somebody that feels like you are that center of gravity, you're that anchor, you're that core frequency that aligns totally with some kind of hidden internal knowledge that they have of who they are as a person, and they recognize that very resonant frequency within you as well. So let's get some message cards and see what this person wants you to know from their higher self. Okay, we have, I thought about surprising you with a date. Yeah, so it feels like this person eagerly anticipates seeing you, talking to you, getting together with you. If you're still in a talking stage, you haven't had a face to face encounter with one another, this is somebody that is looking forward to that eagerly. They don't want to just kind of like dwell around chatting, having these kind of like distanced interactions with one another. This is somebody that wants to get up close and personal. They want to take that big step forward so that you are one step closer to that experience of being able to embrace one another for real. We also have I'm situating this karmic situation. So this is somebody, again, that feels like they want to bring you a very gentle, beautiful experience of love. This is somebody that wants to kiss wounds within you that they themselves did not create, but that they recognize that you've worked very hard or to the best of your ability to cauterize those wounds, to move beyond them, to continue to remain open and optimistic to the reality that love can be a beautiful thing despite any experiences that you've had that were very contrary to that notion. Like this person recognizes that. Again, this is that energy of kind of like a very bright light that is within you that they understand can only be that luminous because of the backdrop of a profound level of shadow, darkness, hurt, despair, wounding, heartbreak, loneliness, disappointment, like any variety of things that creates that contrast. Like despite it all, you lead from the heart. Despite it all, you lead with love. And so this is something that has caused this person to become very mindful. They want to be very careful with your heart, very gentle with your heart. Yeah, they got a lot of passion. Yeah, they've got a lot of like carnal urges towards you, but they also sense that you are like you're strong, but you're delicate as well. And so this is somebody that wants to kind of like do what they can in order to treat that kind of delicate part of you with respect, with recognition, with love and affection and attention. So this is somebody smoothing out some rough edges within them so that they don't accidentally kind of like trample into the soft space within you when you feel that it's time to like invite them in there. We also have, I have thought about having a family with you. Yeah, so this is somebody that wants to take things to the next level. This is somebody that is not putting limitations on whatever is possible between the two of you moving forward. This is somebody that feels that the two of you have this right balance inside of yourselves where you would be able to maybe even kind of, if you're interested in having kids, or it's still possible, if you're still within that kind of age range where such things could happen, or it's like a desire for both of you, this person almost feels like you could do a better job at creating like a happy, stable home than maybe what both of you or one of you, either of you had kind of experienced growing up. This is somebody that would want to take that journey with you if that was something of your choosing. Otherwise, this is somebody that's like, I'd be really excited to get a bunch of dogs and kitties and just, have like fur babies or whatever else. Like this is somebody that just wants to have like a home with you, like have cozy experiences with you. We also have, I've been hurting without you, you have no idea. Yeah, so this person, like, they really look forward to speaking to you, seeing you, catching glimpses of you. This is somebody that looks around in crowded rooms and crowded spaces, just out about in their day. Maybe they'll have a chance encounter. Maybe they'll see you. Maybe there's like a particular time and place where they usually see you, and now like when they arrive, maybe they get there early, and it's sort of like they're at the edge of their seat, kind of like, okay, I want to see you. I want to see you walk in. I want to see you walk by. I can't wait to talk to you. So you really moved this person emotionally speaking. We also have, I regret walking away from you. So it feels like this person like almost told you some of their like deeper intentions or feelings, and then they hesitated at the last minute. Like, is it too much? Is it too soon? Because again, this person wants to be very careful, very delicate, not because they're fearful or uncertain, but they feel like between the two of you, they're supposed to kind of bring forth a better experience in love than you might have had before. Like they've kind of taken that on as like a personal mission. And so it feels like they're trying to sort of like still their personal urge at this time and really ask themselves, how can I sort of like show up for you before just kind of fulfilling my own needs and showing up for myself? Because with those needs and self desires, this is somebody that is like they hunger for you. So they would have already sort of, pushed this connection forward a lot faster, but there's some part of them that is kind of like encouraging them to sort of take the time to really like learn you on an emotional level, so that this isn't just like a temporary experience with one another. So this isn't just the type of thing where they're contributing to like disappointment, wounds, heartbreak. Like they see you as a very sensitive individual, and so there's a lot of care and attention with like not being someone that just kind of tramples all over your feelings. We also have, I have a gift for you. So for some people, this person is like when they go past like a jewelry store, like a jewelry counter, they're looking over at rings, at diamonds, at they're thinking about that, like what would that be, what would that be like to marry this person, to ask this person to marry me. They're thinking in terms of those like long range energies. For others, this is somebody like with that idea of surprising you at the date. They want to turn up with like flowers, plan like something where it's not just, yeah, let's go hang out, but like something that's very kind of special, very unique. And so there may already be like plans that are set in motion for that. Like if you already kick it, if you already hang out with one another, this is somebody then that is kind of like planning on doing something a little more structured with you, something that might be like going to a fancy restaurant, something that's kind of a romantic setting, something that again kind of like appeals to a sensitive, a softer side of you that they have picked up on, that they're aware of, that they feel that it's very important in addition to kind of the happy and excited and like, yeah, I'm up for whatever, like that side of you, or the very like casual part of you. There's like a romantic side of you that they definitely want to start to kind of breathe life into, or kind of coax that out through their efforts. We also have the sexual thoughts that run through my mind. Yeah, so in addition to, this like gentle experience and lovey-dovey energies and showing you a very caring love and a very, delicate experience, this is also somebody that's like, they can't wait to get you alone. They can't wait to, get you in bed. They can't wait to like get to that stage of the connection. They've thought about all of that. But again, this is somebody at this point that is like trying to sort of still their own urges in that capacity. And they're like, yeah, there'll be time for all of that, but in the meantime, it feels very important to start to kind of focus more upon your sensitivities, your kind of emotional depth, ways in which previous lovers or previous relationships might have been oblivious to such things. That's the area that this person wants to focus on. So let's get some initials. This could be a first, middle, or last name, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got J, C, L, D, T, G, B, U, A, I, P, U, and X. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the yellow calcite. So let's see, what Would the person on your mind tell you if they could say anything right now? Okay, we got the King of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, Ace of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. So it feels like this person would tell you that they are ready. With this energy of the Five of Cups, and we got those 3 cups that are spilled over, past relationships gone sour that had created a bit of pessimism about love or fear within this person, hesitation, guardedness, woundedness, different sorts of factors, different excuses, different things that had kind of caused them to be a little bit hesitant up to this point. In this card, this figure is like holding these 2 cups. That's the energy of soulmates. That's the energy of emotionally readiness. These cups are being held almost as if they're ready to be kind of given forth. So it feels like this is somebody that is ready to seize this moment in time, because it is a moment that they have created for themselves, to very consciously kind of like wish bon voyage to the past, to this broken cup sort of energy. This is somebody that is peeling themselves away from a focus and a lot of attention on all the reasons why this connection couldn't work, why the timing isn't right, why they need to kind of like take things slow or continue to take things slow. And this is somebody that is like, would tell you like, I've waited long enough, like I've seen enough. I've seen enough of like wasted opportunities and the disappointment that that brings in terms of like 3 tipped over cups. This is somebody that doesn't want this situation to kind of become this almost like spilt milk that they will spend the rest of their life crying over. So this is somebody that it feels like with that Ten of Pentacles, they would let you know that they are in the midst of kind of this King of Swords, like drawing his sword. They are in the midst of thinking what they're going to say, planning that approach, something that will give you this direct indicator that their sights are very much set upon you and about working with your experiences with one another so far to build towards something more satisfying with one another than has been the case. This person took enough time to sort of stand back, look at things from afar, maybe even empower those fear-based paradigms and narratives. They've missed opportunities with you. It feels like they've missed multiple opportunities to connect with you. They would tell you that they understand time is running out. They feel you detaching. They feel you almost embracing the reality or accepting the reality of like, I need to set my sights elsewhere. This person isn't making a move. They're not expressing themselves. The only seeds of potential here are seeds of untapped potential. This is somebody that gets that. They recognize that. This is somebody that would tell you they don't want you to become their life's biggest regret. They do want you to become their life's biggest victory as far as love is concerned. This is somebody it feels like that would tell you as well that they have had this sense of certainty for quite some time, that there is a unique connection between the two of you. They were fighting their feelings because there was almost something within them that might have felt a lot for you very quickly, but the logical part of them, pressure from people around them, or just kind of their own experiences up to this point in time, had kind of conditioned them to think that like fools rush in. Nothing good happens quickly. You gotta build over time in order to be certain that it's real. And so this is somebody that had this kind of like inspiration, this inner knowing, this sense of awareness early in the connection or when they first met you that caused them to want to lean forward real quick, and they pumped the brakes, they held back. They took the cautious approach. They mistrusted their heart. But this is someone that would let you know, like, they felt a special connection to you since day one. And this is somebody that is now ready to explore that out in the open. They're ready to seize the moment here. So even with this readiness though, this is somebody that it feels like they haven't listened to their heart in a very long time. They haven't thought of their heart as a very wise center of knowing within. They perhaps have thought their heart is the most foolish part of them. And so this is also somebody that would tell you to kind of almost sort of like, teach me how to love you. Show me the way forward beyond an experience that has been very long lasting. It's preceded you as far as kind of like whatever the heart wants is sort of the last thing that this person gives into. They vet everything out. They double check everything. This is somebody that is like, I'll believe it when I see it. And it feels like they've missed out on opportunities, different doors into the realm of what if that might have led to disappointment, but could have also led to something beautiful. That they carry around a lot of regret at not taking chances in the past, and even not taking a chance more obviously on this connection up to this point in time. But this is now someone that's in a place within themselves of feeling like they don't need to occupy that space anymore, of empowering that energy of doubt, of what if, like what if it falls apart, what if it goes wrong. This is somebody that is very certain that taking steps forward in the direction of what if it goes right, that is something that may be the most life-changing event between the two of you, but maybe even in other ways. But this is somebody that definitely would tell you like they need you to guide them through this period of time, to be very patient with them, but also very clear about them when they start to make these efforts towards you, when they start to open up more. To not just feel like, okay, good, finally they're opening up. I don't want to scare them off. So I'll just kind of like, I'll just wait. I'll just go with the flow. I'll just kind of like let them call the shots in this situation. This is somebody that is like almost kind of would tell you, teach me how to do this. Am I doing this right? Is this too much? Is it too little? Give me that guidance and that reassurance that what I'm presenting to you energetically, actually and emotionally, that it feels right, that it feels good. Because this person like knows that you felt something special between the two of you. They felt something special between the two of you. But they chose to kind of empower that timeline of what if this is just another series of broken cups. So they've like hesitated, or it's been very slow to develop. So to switch gears into something where it's like they're grasping that moment and they're presenting themselves forward to you, there is a sense within them of kind of like, this feels like the right move, but they need you to kind of talk them through it, like guide them along through this process. This isn't somebody that's just going to kind of like confess it all to you. That may be why it's kind of like they would want to tell you like, I'm planning what to say, because they don't want to say too much and kind of spook themselves and sort of crawl back in their shell. They don't want to present like this total 180 in terms of their approach to you, and then it sets your alarm bells off, kind of like, okay, why are they now all of a sudden being all warm and friendly? Why are they now all of a sudden super interested or really enthusiastic, when in the past it was kind of like touch and go? So this is something where it feels like they would let you know they want to open up gradually to this, but their sights are set on thinking that the best is possible in this circumstance, rather than continuing to kind of like hold back and almost fear the worst. So let's get some message cards from their higher self and see what they want you to know right now. Okay, we have, I regret walking away from you. Yeah, so this is somebody that has hesitated in the past in this situation. They pulled back. They empowered that timeline of fear. And it feels like the minute that they did that, there was like a sinking feeling within. Like, I've just put myself in a very uncomfortable position. I put you in an uncomfortable position. It's going to take a dramatic shift in order to be able to get back into that space of like succinct energy between the two of you, a flow space, everything that was happening very naturally, very unscripted, and now they're having to like plan what to say. This is somebody that never wanted to have to like ask for another chance. And this isn't the energy of somebody that would have to come crawling to you with like all kinds of apologies and like begging and groveling. But this is just somebody, it feels like, that if they were sort of reserved, they need to become more talkative. If this is somebody that wasn't very consistent in their communication, they need to become more kind of like regular or dependable as far as that's concerned, and they know that. But they're now in a position within of like, I wish that I hadn't kind of like had that recoil, had that reflex in the way that I did to empower that timeline of fear, because we should be further ahead with one another in this experience than we are. Or they never wanted to kind of like be in that position with you and with this connection of needing to kind of make up for, you know, even just kind of like hesitations in the past over a period of time. We also have, I'm always reminded of you. So it feels like this person has kind of like, they've prayed for guidance. They've asked for signs. Those signs have come in loud and clear. It's very obvious to this person at this point. Yes, move forward. Say something. Initiate that conversation. This is somebody that it feels like they had gotten a lot of confirmations, but then it was kind of like they needed another sign. It wasn't enough reassurance. It doesn't feel like anything where they've like asked other people's opinions, like, what do you think? But this is somebody that is just, they're consulting their higher power. They're praying about it. They're like setting these intentions, like, if this is the right situation, show me this. And it's like something that'll be just like a weird, unique little thing that either is like significant to the two of you, or, you know, is kind of like something that they just sort of put that out there as far as like, okay, that will let me know for sure that this is real. This feeling is trustworthy. This experience is something that I should reach forth for. And it's happened time and again. Each time they ask for a sign, each time they ask for that confirmation, it comes back yes. So this is somebody that they see that, they recognize that. We also have, I've been astral projecting to you. Yeah, so you may have been picking up on this person's energy a lot because they've been thinking about you a lot. Even though they may not have been saying a lot, the mind chatter that at one point in time was empowering timelines of fear, it is now empowering this energy of like, okay, how do I turn this around? How do I redeem myself? How do I make up for lost time? How do I switch gears here without kind of like making you sort of put your guard up? Like, what's the catch? What changed? Even though it might be like a happy change, this is somebody that fears that doing too much too soon is going to be something that just the natural instinct within you is going to be like, whoa, okay, so what changed? What do you want? What's the intention here? Like, are you trying to manipulate? What are you trying to get here? So this is definitely somebody that has like given into that emotional space within, but they recognize that they've almost been very kind of like icy with their communication so far. So somebody that wants to like warm up to the experience of like more consistency or more kind of direct revelation about their feelings for you. We also have a keep a close eye on your social media. Yeah, so this is definitely somebody that is fascinated by you. You've captured their attention. You've captured their heart. They are done running from that reality. This is somebody that regrets not listening to that little nudge before. This is somebody that recognizes they cannot approach with fear in their heart. So they are also trying very hard to, sort of close off from those hesitations within that fear-based template that would encourage them to sort of like wait for better timing. It's like, I've seen enough, I've waited long enough, there's the signs keep pointing to yes. So this is somebody that wants to act upon that, and quickly. We also have, you really have been by my side. I see that. I do cherish you for that. Yeah, so this is somebody that is very grateful that you've been patient with them. They know this process has not been easy, as far as they have been kind of, giving you attention, allowing their fears to kind of pull them backwards. They know that at this point in time, it's maybe a lot of mixed signals that they've given. There's no reason for you to hold on to hope. And yet a part of them feels like you perhaps still are, or there's still something to work with here. This is somebody that is approaching with the energy of, there's a high likelihood that you can kind of like pick things back up where you left off, or can move in that direction of like a better experience with one another than has been the case up to this point in time. We also have, I've thought about living together. Yeah, so this is also somebody that knows that they can't just kind of come in and it's like, okay, now we're regularly talking and, I kind of keep one foot in, one foot out of this connection. This is somebody that understands, like, if you will give them the opportunity to kind of prove to you that they're serious about this, that, they've overcome something within, they have to be prepared to kind of like take further steps. That you're not going to tolerate sort of like, okay, momentum builds and then they freeze again. Okay, momentum builds and then they get all in their head and they back off. Like, they understand that you're like past that point with one another. So this is somebody that is trying to kind of like ground their energy in order to, follow that impulse within. Their heart still really wants you. They're very attracted to you. And so this is somebody that understands, like, in order to really have kind of highest likelihood for success, they can't put any limitations on what can develop between the two of you in a long-term sense. So let's get some initials. This could be a first, middle, or last name, or could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got H, B, V, S, K, N, E, B, H, T, L, W, and Q. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.